Oh dear. Well, I appear to have triggered the camera. I really need to fix that at some point. But, one of these days, we will actually get the stream overlay working correctly first time. I even got the mic fixed this time. But yeah, welcome to today's stream. Today's stream will be doing some more work on Coppice and then doing some more work on the overlay. And yeah, hope you are all doing well this Sunday afternoon. I have been rather busy this morning. Been out shopping, been to see some family, been trying to repair some stuff, and I got my new mic arm. Yay! So that arrived. I was not actually expecting it. I ordered it on Friday, and I had the option for like Saturday delivery, which was going to be more expensive, or morning delivery, which was going to be more expensive, or like various options for delivery, which are all going to be more expensive, or I could just pay for next working day and it was free. And guess what? Next working day will be Tuesday after Friday. So I was expecting on Tuesday, and that was perfectly fine because I had an old Max stand. The only issue was it wasn't mounted to my desk and it had a propensity for falling over. So it was a surprise this morning when I got an alert saying it will be delivered this morning, which is not bad for free delivery. So yeah, I have my mic arm set up. Hopefully it is sounding fairly good in the place where it is located. It's been a bit awkward trying to figure out where exactly to place it because I need it sort of out of the way of monitors, but out of the way of other stuff, and I may need to sort of move stuff around a bit, but it is a lot more flexible and a lot more stable than what I had before, so that is the most important thing. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Let me know how you're doing in chat. Hopefully we will be able to get quite a lot done today. We actually got a fair bit done yesterday. It just took a while to do it. But yeah, we can see that, well, I appear to be on the screen, sort of. So let's go have a look at what that is. So what we have here is, first up, we have a me, as I look now. And then we have the newer version of me, which will still probably end up with the scan lines, but this is the version I'm designing to allow me to be a lot more expressive and do things and hopefully be clearer at a distance. So these are all things that we are going to play around with and see what we can do, but that is for later. I have a lot of plans. I've planned out how various bits are going to work, so we'll start on that later. But first, we need to do Coppice. So if I launch up Coppice, I can hide that away, or rather launch up Xcode. Taking its time. Okay, so where we got to yesterday was we are currently working on trying to get it so you can hover over a link or an arrow and it will highlight the related thing. So if you hover over an arrow, it will highlight the links that cause the arrow. If you hover over a link, it will highlight the arrows that come out of the page. So what we are going to do is we've managed to get the hovering over links working, and we've managed to get the point where we have a interaction bound for a link. So we want to get that working. And we need to get that working in multiple ways because what we're eventually going to let people do is click on the link to select it and delete it, so that the link arrow will actually go away. So we need to build out a system to allow that to happen, but part of that is going to be the hovering. So we're going to get the hovering done first, and when we hover, we want to make a note of what page we care about and the actual link. So that is what we're going to work on. So if I head over into my usual corner, and you'll notice the mouse should be working a lot better because I rebuilt after our fixes yesterday. May still need a bit of tweaking, but I'm not going to tweak it too much more because I'm going to be doing more tweaks with the new facial expressions. So let us get started. So you can see we have our bounding boxes on our arrows, which are in blue. But then we have this yellow arrow, which is our interaction area. So what we want to do for interaction is we first want to do the rectangle, because creating and checking all of these Bezier paths is potentially expensive. It probably isn't going to be too expensive, but better safe than sorry, because if you're in this area, there's no point doing it. Checking whether a point is inside a bunch of rectangles, super fast. Bezier paths takes a little bit more time because they're just a little bit more complex. So we're going to first check, is it in the rectangle? And if it's in the rectangle, then we're going to check whether it's in the Bezier path for those items. And then it's just going to be a case of, is it, because for example, if I do that, which one is on top? So we'll do it that way. So where do we need this? So we have select and move event. We have a canvas selection event. Move event. Create mouse. Oh. Create mouse event. So we've got page at canvas point. We probably just want to have a link at canvas point function. Okay, where do we actually retrieving pages, modified page ordering? Okay, links. Change. I'm going to do a function link at canvas point. That engine link, which is going to be an optional because it may not actually exist. turn nil there. And what we're going to do here is if let length equals self.link at canvas point location print link page link. Okay, and I have just realised I have not got a tissue and I need to blow my nose because allergies, so give me 1 second. Okay, so what we can start doing look at canvas point or page canvas point. Yeah, so we want the layout frame. So link in self dot links. We don't actually have a Z index on links. Okay. Yeah, we'll see whether that's an issue or not. A Z index on page is a bit more important. We can actually link dot layout frame contains canvas point. Why not update this? Because this is a good trick. If you have something where it's for like a page in something, it probably doesn't make as much sense here. Ooh. Something just happened. And something didn't happen. So let's trigger the something that should have happened. There we go. There we have the thing that should have happened. There's something going on. The alert is sounding. Everyone to battle stations. Everyone to battle stations. Oh. You know, chat, I think they may be friendly. So, welcome Kieran and Raiders. How are you all doing today? Askipov, thank you very much for the follow. Unfortunately, the follow thing isn't working, so let's trigger that manually. I have no idea why Twitch is like completely broken. It's like the only thing that seems to work is throwing bugs at me. Which maybe, thinking about it, maybe that's why it's broken. Anyway, let's end this raid. Maybe that's why it's broken, because the only thing that ever happens is I get bugs thrown at me. Oh well. So, how is everyone? How was the end of your stream, Kieran? I obviously had to hop off at the end and get this stream started. So yeah, welcome. I am Pilkey. I am a software developer building apps for Mac and iOS, and when I'm not doing work for other people, I am writing my own apps, which is what we're doing today, and also building this spaceship. Because I am real. This is not virtual. This is all perfectly real. This is exactly who I am. I am not being piloted by anyone. Nope. So, welcome to the spaceship. If this is your first time here, this is the bridge. It is currently one of two rooms that we have access to because, well, the doors don't open yet. But we recently did some decorating in here. Look at all these bugs. They're everywhere. Out the way. Out the way, bugs. Move. There we go. So yes, we have a wonderful view of... Who did that? Yeah. Out the way. Go on. Go, 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 go. No, wrong direction. This is harder than it looks. Ah! Go, 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 go. Done. Yay! So yes, this is the bridge. This is the console. None of it works yet, which is fairly good because I'm pretty sure this big button here, I don't know what it does, but it has a lot of warning signs and it says do not press. So I think that someday we should press it and see what it does, but I haven't been able to get into it yet. But yes, welcome in. Let's head over to the conference room, which is, well, as you can see, a bit bare because we haven't actually equipped this yet. But yes, we can head over and see what we are working on. So, as I said, I am a software developer. So I am currently working on doing some stuff in an app I build called Coppice, which is a Mac app that lets you store notes, link them together, and work out the relationship between them. I just realized I've put my dock on the other screen, so I cannot actually see. So yes, what we are currently doing is, in fact, I can show you once it builds. So what we're currently doing is building a new version that massively improves the functionality of these arrows. And one of the things that I want to do is if you hover over a link, it will highlight arrows that are related to that link. And if you hover over an arrow, it will highlight the links. Sounds simple enough. Turns out it's a bit more complex doing that. So we've managed to get it so that we can hover over a link, and you can see down here, it's just printing a bunch of stuff out. But then here we have our arrow, and you can see there's a slight yellowish outline around it, and that is our interaction area that we are currently implementing now. So what I am doing is we have a linker to canvas point here, and it's going to iterate through all our links and see, does the basic frame contain that? And if so, we're going to check if link dot interaction path contains canvas point, then return link. So hopefully this will work. It may not, because I can't remember whether I've done these in the wrong dimension. Yeah, so I need to convert the point, which should be simple enough to do. Converted point equals our canvas point minus link.layoutFrame.origin. And then hopefully we can do converted point there. Let's have a look. Let's introduce the overlay to new peeps, and we're going to ignore Blender for a little bit before fixing those issues I found with the rig. Yeah, things over in space are fairly good. I was saying earlier, the monitor arm, not the monitor arm, the mic arm I ordered, and I was expecting to arrive on Tuesday, I believe it was, actually turned up this morning. And I could have paid for Saturday delivery, I could have paid for Sunday delivery. Instead, I paid for the free next working day delivery, and apparently they ignored it and just gave me Sunday morning delivery instead. So yeah, I'm still going to have to work out positioning it correctly, because it's blocking a little bit of one of my monitors, but it's not too bad. It's just finding a place where it can sit and get the microphone in the correct location. I may end up shifting it to the other side of my desk, because then it's also, I can fold it away a bit more easily. So we'll see how things go. Anyway, what I want to do, so that works. If I go here and I hover over that, you can see it's printing out the page link. And then if I hover over here and go over that, it's printing out the page link. And go over here, and you can see down here it's printing out the page link. So we've got our hovering working. Fantastic. So we have, so what do we need to store? So we have our currently hovered page, which, so we don't care massively about the hovered page per se. What we care about, so currently hovered link. Right, so we're going to do that. And with source is going to be page.id. Oh, because that's not a model ID. How are we going to do this? Yeah, we don't want the URL. Need to get ready for peeps coming over, but you'll have me in your ears. Okay. Hopefully you managed to get that done fairly quickly. So yes, we've got... So the thing that I'm trying to work out, we need two bits of information when hovering over to know what we're hovering. We need to know the page link, because we need to know what link are we actually highlighting. And we also need to know what page are we highlighting for. Because if you are hovering over a link on a page, you only want links coming out of that page to get highlighted. If you are hovering over a link, you only want the page that the link is coming from to highlight. So... What do we want to do here? This is kind of the problem of trying to work out exactly what I need to do. I mean, storing the page link is obvious. Now, I could store the source on the page link, but I need the model ID, which I don't have at this location. So... That's... So let's think about how I'm going to communicate this. If I have a page link, if I'm hovering over a page and a link, then I've got the page. I can tell the page, okay, highlight this link inside of you. And then it's in the currently hovered page. The problem is I can't reuse currently hovered page, because currently hovered page is used for showing stuff on the currently hovered page. And if you're hovering over a link, that isn't there. Though... it could be useful for that. Okay, let's just give this a try. So, we need to currently have a page regardless, and if that is set, so the currently have a page is set, then we're going to do the page, because the problem is we don't want to do the link regardless if we're over a page, because well, we're in a we're over a page. We don't want any links behind it to get highlighted. So we have a page, we have our URL, we set that. Else self.currently have a page link equals nil. And then I'm going to do else if we're not over a page, link at canvas point location. We actually want to move this in here. So self dot currently hovered page link equals link, and self dot currently hovered page equals self page with ID link dot source page ID. Oh, page link. I'm not sure why we're storing the page link. Why don't we just store the layout engine link? That seems to make the most sense. Dot Let's just get rid of that for now. I know we do need the page link because we're not always getting the actual link, because it can be hovered inside of a, it may not be a canvas link that's hovered. Okay. So let's build and run, and hopefully what should happen is when we hover over a page link, it should highlight the page. Okay. So if I turn always show page titles off, we're hovering over there, that is working fine. Hovering over there, that's working fine. If I hover over that, well, that's working fine. But if I hover over that, there. Curious, why is it? Well, that one's correct. That one's correct. So these are correct. So that's correct. That is correct. Correct, correct. Why? No, that's working correctly. Particular one is weird. No, actually, it's especially weird because that should not be down there. That should be in the middle. That's working now. Okay, I have no idea what happened there. So, we have all that working. Now we can start doing some highlighting. So, when the currently hovered page link is set, we want to tell the page's view to highlight those links. And when we also want to highlight the links coming out. The problem is you can have, theoretically, you can have a link coming out multiple times. So if you hover over one instance of a link, that's going to highlight all the other links. May need to change this. Maybe what we need is, rather than a currently hovered page or a currently hovered page link or stuff like that, we need what is currently under the mouse cursor. And it could just be a page, it could be a link on a page, or it could be a link on the canvas, like an arrow on the canvas. And that may be the way that we need to do this. We will see. Okay, so how would we do this? We would have item under mouse. Layout engine. And we'll have an enum. Layout engine item. Oh, wrong brackets. So we're going to have a case nothing. I'm going to have a case page, which is going to be a layout engine page. We have case, and it can also have page link, which is going to be optional. Our case link, which is going to be a layout engine link. So equals nothing. And what we are going to do, we want private, that must be a private set actually. Private phone update item under mouse with location CD point. And what we can do is self.update item under mouse with location. Shift that into there. I'm gonna get rid of that, and in this case we are going to self.item under mouse equals page, and that is going to be the page and page link URL. Otherwise it's just going to be the page. If it's this, then self.item under mouse equals link. Otherwise is nothing. Right. So notify of background change for page old for covered page. The L value is not equal to the page. The L value selected is page that selected is not that. Otherwise, we do that. Now, can we simplify this a bit? I mean, we can page that selected equals true if either. No, it needs to be. Page that selected equals true. That needs to be made public, otherwise it is not going to actually show up at all. Right, so we have our item under our mouse. Work that out. So did set. I'm going to do self.not. Right, so I'm going to do var page. If case. What is it? If case dot page, or if case, case dot page, let page underscore equals self, return page, otherwise return nil. And then what we can do is self dot notify of background change for hovered page. And then this is one of the cool things, if you've never seen Swift before or are new to it, with enums, not only can you have associated types with them, you can also add properties. So with this enum, I can do self.item under mouse dot page. I can do old value dot page. So I do not need a bunch of switch statements, if statements, anything like that. I just add a property to the enum and I can do that. So hopefully, if I've done this correctly, page hovering should still work. And we've got a compiler error. Okay. If layout engine dot item under mouse dot page is equal to self. There we go. Fantastic. But what that should mean is that we have a lot more power now, because the way we're doing it before, we didn't know where we hovered over a page link or a canvas link. And there's a key difference. A page link is just a convenience around a URL, because all of the links on pages are just URLs that Coppice will read and use to open another page. Canvas link is a fixed object. It is an open link. connecting two pages on a canvas. And the important thing is, because you can have multiple links, we need to know, am I hovering over a link? Because then we want to tell the page at the source to highlight the links, but we don't want to highlight any other links coming from that page that may share the same page link. On the other hand, if you hover over a link on a page, then we don't really want to tell the page highlight all instances of this link. We want to tell it highlight all the links on the canvas. So this allows us to do that because we've got notified there. We can get rid of, currently have a page link. We can have private func update highlighted links. And we can do that for item. Layout engine. No, not layout engine. Yeah, layout engine item. And layout engine item is kind of a bad name for it. No, actually, it does sort of make sense. And we'll do old value as well. Right. So what we want to do, we should be able to make these equatable, I think. Okay, good. So now we can do guard self.item under mouse is not equal to old value. That saves us having to do this down here, and we're going to do self.update item on update highlighted links for item self.item under mouse. Old value is the old value. Now, the reason we want the old value is that we want to tell something not to be highlighted. Now, that is easy enough for a link because we can just tell the link, are you highlighted or not? But we want to... Oh, someone's at the door. I will be right back. Hey, sorry about that. I think that's the second day in a row I've had someone ring the doorbell midstream. Turns out it was just some kids who had kicked football into the garden, which is progress really, because they're no longer just climbing over the fence to get it. Now, I think the kids that had been causing problems have moved on elsewhere, so it's been a new set of kids that have moved in, so... Oh, what's this link? Oh. Is this something I can show on screen, Sinister? Oh, the kids now seem to be okay. They seem to just play football, make a bit of noise, and I mean, this is the first time that they've actually kicked a football over into my garden. And of course, they came, rang the doorbell, asked for it back. I'm not going to complain about that. If you're not being a nuisance and you're polite, then I have no problem. So, this, for anyone who doesn't know, is Kieran's animator, who is apparently a cool dude who surfs. Because, of course you're going to. So, how long has this taken you to do, Sinister? Yeah, yesterday was showing off the Pokebot flying around. Now it's showing Kieran's bird on the surfboard. You've done plenty of stuff for Dog Swift. Who's next? Have you got anything for Gwilym? It's like you're going around all the animator people. Right, so where were we? We were updating our highlighted links. So item under mouse. Right, so let's flesh this out and work out exactly what we want to have going on here. So, if nothing is selected, then we want to do nothing. Or rather, if nothing, deselect old item. Hello, Bread Monsters. Thank you for the follow. Unfortunately, the follow notification is broken at the moment, so I will just ping that for you now. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are enjoying yourself. Alright, so if we have nothing, that's it. We have deselect the old item. You're doing pretty fantastic. How about me? I am doing quite alright. It's quite an well, I say it's quite a nice day because it's been sunny out, but I've literally just looked out the window, and out the back window it is very dark and cloudy. Doesn't say it's going to rain, but the clouds certainly look like it. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well, just working my way through the various coding challenges of getting a simple thing to work. As is always the case with programming, it just takes a lot of time. So, if we have nothing selected, we do that. page. So we've, in this case, if no link, right, so page nil is also going to be deselect all item. Page and some link, we want to highlight all arrows, and if it's a link we want to highlight forward arrow and all links in source page. So what we probably want we can do mark link highlighting, and we can do a trick here. So if we do, rather than the hovered stuff, we're going to do the highlighted. So if we hover the highlighted links, we can do layout engine link, layout engine links, which is going to be empty, and then we can do that, because when this is set to nil, we can throw away the we can tell the page to the old value to deselect, and then we don't need the old value here, which, yeah, should make things easier. So we could just do that, update highlighted links. We can get rid of all this stuff. So switch after item. That is still completely and utterly broken, as is that. In fact, what version of the Xcode beta am I on? Oh, I'm on beta 4. Okay, I am a few versions behind, so I could do updating that at some point. So now we get to see something else that is cool about Swift. So what we're going to do, deselect old item. Actually, this is just going to do self.highlighted links equals empty array, self.highlighted page equals nil. And then we get a link. So we can do that and then extract the link out, and self.highlighted links equals layout engine link. Why am I doing that? Is just the link that we've hovered over, and then the highlighted page, we're going to let page equals self.page with ID, link.source.page ID. Now, while nilling this out will allow us to send a value that send a call that says stop highlighting links, we won't be able to tell it to highlight links because we won't have the link to highlight. So that will be a separate call here. So we need to do page dot tell page to highlight. Thanks. And then we'll store it because yeah, that should be enough for us. Are you talking to me, Bread Monsters? This avatar? This has been made in Blender. It's a mixture of Blender and Unity. So the actual avatar is just a few things thrown together in Blender, put into Unity, and then hooked up so that I can control it with a PlayStation controller. So I can move around, I can change my expressions, I can look around, and various bits and pieces can happen, such as when someone follows, it can do that, or various other things. Unfortunately, the Twitch side of that seems to be broken, so it's not actually following me, but yeah. I mean, there's still more to do. I want to, I've already redone the face once, but I want to redo it again. But yeah, so this is a full interactive environment. There are certain things that you can do using channel points to actually interact with the environment and change things. You can throw bugs at me. You can change the theme on my face. How do you make your own? So, making your own, it takes a bit. You need the knowledge of Blender, but you also need knowledge of a game engine. I use Unity. Kieran, for his overlay, uses Unreal. You need a little bit of programming experience as well. Now, the best thing to do is, if I give a shout out to DogSwift. DogSwift really started the whole thing of building these environments that are called animators, animated puppets, effectively. It's a bit more expansive than VTubers, and you can also see that Kieran has changed me to a terminal face. So thank you, Kieran. So to build your own, at the moment it's just sort of finding your way. But DogSwift, who, as I say, originated this, they are currently working on a series of tutorials which will actually guide you through how to build one of these environments yourself. Now, they're still working on the tutorials. They've got the first one as like a draft, but they're still working on subsequent ones because they want to be releasing them regularly, so they need to get them done first. But I definitely suggest giving them a follow because, just if anything, they're a fantastic stream. They're fun, enjoyable. But unfortunately, the tutorials aren't up yet. As I said, they're still making them. They will be on YouTube eventually. I'm not sure which channel they will be on. DogSwift have a few channels. If you follow them on Twitch, you should be able to find them. Or if you just periodically pop into my stream, a Kieran stream, or anything like that, it may show up. But I believe that if you go to DogSwift's Twitch page, I think it links to their YouTube channels. So if you subscribe to those, you may see them at some point. I don't know when they're coming out, unfortunately, because, as I said, they're most of the way through getting the first episode done, but they've got a lot of other episodes to do. They've got an awful lot to cover. This isn't just a case of like teaching someone Blender, or teaching someone like programming, or teaching someone something else. They've got to teach you, okay, this is how you use Blender, and this is how you use Unity, and this is how you program, and this is how you hook up to Twitch, and they've got a lot of stuff to cover. So yeah, it will take a while, so but it's something that you can slowly do, and there are tutorials out there. I've built this following just general tutorials. You build your character in Blender, follow tutorials on how to do that. There are tutorials on YouTube on how to do various character things. So yeah, it's just a case of search YouTube. If you don't want to wait for the specific tutorials, you just do that. And all I'm doing is I've got the game, I've built it in Unity, and I'm just doing a screen capture of the game in OBS to stream it. All the Twitch integration is, there's a library out there called TwitchLib. But yeah, they are great things to do. I mean, if you know one or more of the things already, it's a bit easier to do. I already knew a little bit of 3D modeling, and I'm a programmer, so I could do all the programming side of things. But I didn't really know Unity and hooking up to Twitch and so on, so that stuff I've had to work up, and doing like character animation and stuff like that I've had to do. So it takes a while, but there are tutorials out there. It's just a case of knowing how to piece them all together. The benefit of the Dog Swift one is, as Kieran says, it will be for absolute beginners. So it's like, if you're not a beginner in one thing, it's probably a bit too simple for you in certain things, but for the areas where you are an absolute beginner, it's fantastic. And it's guiding you through specifically building one of these environments, rather than here's how you 3D model a donut, here is how you build a platformer, here is how you do this, and you're just having to extract the bits that you need. So yeah, but it takes a while, and it's always fun to build. I mean, this entire environment has taken me, like, doing bits and pieces every week. It's taken me, I think I started streaming using it in April or May, possibly, or maybe in even June. But I'm slowly building stuff and then revisiting stuff as I learn additional stuff. Like, I don't know everything about Unity or 3D modeling, and as I'm learning new stuff, I'm improving it. So, well, yeah, I mean, I usually work on these towards the end of the stream, so I'm happy to show you around a little bit. It's like, unfortunately, that I don't have anything that can be like a step-by-step, this is how you build it, but I can always just, if you have like random questions and stuff, I'm happy to answer them. Yeah, the deep fried dough lyric. I mean, it's a bit of a joke, but I mean, those tutorials are very good. They taught me a lot of the basics of Blender when I was learning it a few months ago. And it is also painfully accurate, so it's like, oh, you start playing it at 1.5 times and then you miss a bit and have to go back. Right, so I was talking about another fun feature of Swift, which a few languages have, but this is actually one of the first times I'm properly using this in Swift, which is pattern matching. So we're enumerating over an enum, and we have a case of nothing, a case of page, and a case of link. If it was just nothing, page, and link, that's all we could do, but we have properties, or rather associated values. So here the page is always set, but the link may not be set. So let's have a look at what happens here. Page is a layout engine page, but a link, see the question mark? That means this is an optional. However, if the link is not set and we're hovered over a page, we want to effectively do the same thing as nothing. So what we can do here is add page again, and if we do an underscore, that's saying we don't care what the page is, but we do care that the link is nil. And what that should do is, if I now go here, oh no, it's still doing it as an optional. Interesting. I thought it would have been smart enough to avoid that. I thought Swift was smarter than that. Yeah, that's going to complain itself. Do I need to do it as a separate case then? Or am I learning something about Swift's limitations? Curious. Okay, I am just going to tweet because I am curious as to why the compiler cannot do that. Let's see, so if I have an enum with a case... Swift question. Let's see, how do I word this? Say I have an enum with a case foo bar. And say I do a switch with case foo nil. Great. Case foo let bar. Why? Why does Swift still treat R as a bar variable as type bar question mark rather than bar? Just a compiler oversight. Or is that a compiler oversight or type theory? I just asked a question. Okay, got that posted. I'll see if we get a response because I'm curious. From what I understand, I don't think there is a reason why it couldn't potentially do that. But maybe it's just that's a bit more complex for it to do. Because what I would be expecting is that it would treat this as non-optional because you're handling the optional case up there, but optionals, they're tricky in Swift at times. Anyway, we can still, however, handle them like this. And at this point, we can just force unwrap the link. Which you generally don't want to do unless you've already checked that it's nil, which we have done. Okay, so we have our page. We have our link. So self dot highlighted page equals page. Actually, do we want to highlight that page? I don't think we do. We're just going to do self dot highlighted links equals self dot links filter, and what we want to do link dot attention link. The source page is just going to do that, so we can do source page ID to save us a bit of time equals page.id. In fact, we can do it like so. $0 dot source page ID equals page.id, and $0 dot page link equals link. We'll do the highlighted page like that just in case. Right, and then what I want to do is we have the layout engine page view. Telephone highlight links. Matching highlight links, matching page link, and then from what's the opposite of highlight? You highlight and you unhighlight. Not de-highlight, unhighlight. Yeah, let's go with unhighlight. We're writing code, we're not writing prose. So we can do page, highlight, links, matching, link.page link. And here we can do did set old value dot guard let old value not equal to no guard self dot highlighted age is not equal to old value, else turn old value dot view dot on highlight links. And then what we want to do here not highlighted equals false. Self.highlighted links is not equal to the old value, else return, and we're going to do old value for each $0.highlighted equals false, and self.highlighted links dot for each $0 dot highlighted equals true. So that should allow us to correctly unhighlight and re-highlight these. And what we want is layout context. In form of layout change with layout context links change. That model of your bread, you'll need to sculpt it, paint it. It will not let you make a mouth and eyes. You don't know why. I mean, there are many ways of doing a mouth and eyes. So the way I have done it is that this is just a straight plane, and the if I can show you, because I have no wrong thing. I have it all here as a texture. So this is all of my eyes and mouth shapes and so on, and it's just I've written some code that makes me blink, written some code that uses the microphone to change which of the mouth shapes I use and which expression to use, and I swap out the textures based on it's so, like I said, it depends on what you want to do, because this is one way of doing it. Another way is 3D modeling the face, and that is what Kieran's doing. That's what Swift does. That's what everyone else does. I've done it this way because it allows me to do the things where I can sort of change the theme, and it makes that easier. If I wasn't changing the theme, I'd probably do it in the 3D model, because that would be easier. And it's also because I don't know how to do the face in 3D model. The way I've done this is just all done in Photoshop, and then you just need to code it in Unity, which takes a while to do. It took me a while to figure out how to do it. And like I say, I am a programmer by trade, and it took a while to figure out how to do this. It's looking up how things work. If you've never really built a character model before, it's probably best looking on YouTube. If you're using Blender, search for character model in, like, how to character model in Blender. There are tutorials on there that should be able to help. If you've never used Unity before, Unity themselves have tutorials, but there are also plenty of tutorials on YouTube for all sorts of different things. A good source is a place called Brackies. They're not making videos anymore, but they still have good places to look. And it's just one of those things of, it takes a while. Like, to build this environment, for me, has taken months. And it's months of learning stuff, months of building stuff. So it's like not really something that can be done particularly quickly, unless you're basically doing it as a full-time thing. But yeah, like I said, your best bet is to figure out what problem you're doing, and just search on YouTube for a tutorial on that specific thing, and then build from there. But I can give you the basic components that you need. The basic components that you need are going to be some 3D modeling skills to actually build your environment and build your model. You're going to need some some programming skills, but you can generally learn those at the same time as learning a game engine. And you don't need to learn like code like I'm writing here. Kieran is using the Unreal Engine, which has things called blueprints, which are sort of a visual way of programming. Unity uses C#, which is a programming language that you've just got to write out like I'm doing with my code. But you can find tutorials on how to use those. And the key thing, that I've just got it where I have a thing that's just running around, and I learned how to have it hook up to controls. And there are tutorials on how do you hook up controls in Unity. How do you get a character moving around in Unity? And then you think about what you need to do. For my face, it was like, okay, how do I swap out textures in code? How do I move textures around in code? So it's one of those things of just taking it one bit at a time. And the key thing is, don't try to build everything out. I mean, look at this. This is pretty much empty. More so than I expected, because there's no roof on here even. Whereas in here, this was only completed last week, I believe. So, I mean, I had the basic shapes, but it took me a while to build like all the controls at the front. All the stuff on the walls have taken me even longer to do. And then doing the floor, I had to learn texturing to do the floor and the roof. And those are very simple things, but I mean, I had to learn how to do them. And it's just... yeah, it's just taken me a while. And when I first started this, I did not look like this. I was a cube, well, a box, and I had thrown a 2D rendering I had, because I had a VTuber version of myself. It was just a 2D model, and I'd basically thrown that on the size of a cube, and it was just a cube moving around. In fact, let me see if I can find it, because I actually looked at it the other day, giving advice to someone. And I can show you what this started out as. Oh no, it would need to be on the YouTube channel, actually. My channel, videos. Yeah, Unity is... let me search up. So, if you go to Unity, you go to products. It's kind of hard to find because they evidently don't want you really using it. You go to learn more, and you can see it's expensive as the pro version, but you go down here and you have personal. Now, I don't know what the difference between student and personal is. Right, so student may... what does student give you? So you get student asset packs, build skills needed for AR, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, if you're a student at the moment, it could be students 16 and older enrolled in an accredited educational institution. So I mean, that's a potential. If not the personal plan, that's what I'm using. It's free for individuals, hobbyists, and small organizations with less than $100,000 of revenue and funds raised in the last 12 months. So unless you have been making more than $100,000 from Unity in the past 12 months, or you have raised more than that in the past 12 months, then you can use the personal version. That's what I'm using. You don't, you lose not that much really that you would need. I mean, the key thing is you don't have to make the... oh yeah, I've in the wrong screen to showing you this. So yeah, the personal version, you are not really losing much that is of any use. I mean, is there a... here we are, compare plans. Oh, I didn't realize there was visual scripting in Unity. So yeah, you get the core real-time thing, but if you don't pay like the splash screen customization, when you launch, it shows built with Unity. If you're building a stream, that doesn't matter. Deployed to like closed platforms, so like deployed to iOS and Android and stuff like that. Access to the full source code of Unity, you don't need. Like full Unity technical support. Like there's lots of stuff that you get, but you don't need it for most people. You can get by with the personal plan. So I mean, if you're a student, I'd maybe try for the student plan. It may give you a bit more stuff. It seems like there's more resources there, but otherwise the personal plan is good enough for anything that you're probably going to want to do. Most indie developers probably only get by on the personal plan most of the time. But yeah, let me go back and I will show you. Here we go. So this is what my stream looked like to begin with. It was just a bunch of mismatched stuff thrown together in Blender, and it was a box. I mean, it's even floating above. It was a box with a 2D image thrown on. And you can see it was poorly thrown on because there's all these black outlines and stuff around it. So I started streaming using my animator streaming, and it just looked like this. No space outside, no controls on anything, nothing on the walls. Things were looking kind of iffy. You couldn't even enter into the other rooms. It was just a small box that could move around, and it would pass through the door. The door wouldn't open, it just let you move through the door and you would clip through. So that is all you need to do if you wanted to do this to begin with. And that gets you learning the basis of how do I bring something from Blender into Unity? How do I get it so that when I either do like WASD on the keyboard or move a joystick on the controller, how does it actually... Oh. Where have we gone? Like, how does it actually move around? How do you do all the camera stuff? So it helps you learn that stuff. In fact, I can tell you a very good thing. Barry was streaming. So Barry has done some VTubing stuff, and I say VTube. He's done some animator stuff. Let's see if I can find, because it was his April 1st stream where he did his Barry's housing, and the very next day, I believe. Yeah, so I will link these for you. So the first one is showing what he's done. But the second one is even longer, and it's behind the scenes where he just basically shows you how it functions, how he did certain things. And I learned, like all the camera stuff, I learned from watching that second video I linked to. So those are good to watch. The first one just because it's hilarious. The second one because it's interesting in showing how it was actually built, and he goes through some of the Blender stuff, he goes through some of the Unity stuff. So until the Doig Swift tutorials get out, that second video I linked to is possibly the best tutorial there. It's not really a tutorial, but it is a showing you behind the scenes, and it can hopefully at least give you an idea of, okay, I have a rough idea of what is going on. I may not know exactly how this is done, but it gives me enough to know what to search for elsewhere. So hopefully that answers some of your questions about that. As I say, unfortunately, it's not something that I can just say, go here and see that, follow a step-by-step process on building it, because it is a lot of stuff that you've got to know and a lot of stuff that you've got to do. But there are many tutorials out there for the different components. You've just got to piece them all together at the moment. But yeah, those two videos are well worth watching. Just to have a laugh, but also to get an idea of these, and hopefully they give you some idea. But like, if you get any specific questions, then they're good. But yeah, I mean, I'm using, as I say, I'm using the Unity personal version, which is free. I'm using Blender, which is free. I'm trying to think. I think I pay what? I think the only thing I really paid for the overlay, what was it? I paid for something for the overlay. Oh yes, I think I know what it is. It may be in the Stream Deck integration. So I've got a Stream Deck where I can press buttons and it will actually fire off stuff in the overlay, so it allows me to debug stuff and do various things. So I think that's the only thing I've really paid for, but you've got to pay for the Stream Deck to be able to do that in the first place. So you can get away with a lot of stuff that's free, so it's not really expensive to do. Okay, see you in a bit, Kieran. Okay, so we have this here. We're going to inform layout change here. So if I build this, this will fail to compile because we have not implemented some things here. So why is fix all issues constantly breaking? Right, highlight links. So this is going to yeah, let's just print highlight page link and print on highlight link. Oh, on light highlight links. That can just set to there. And then what we probably want to do with line color, if arrow dot highlight. Alright, so the color is going to be arrow dot highlighted the accent color or line color. So we should at least get, okay. So if I disable that, hey, we hover over the link and It's doing that one. It's not doing that one, but I think I know why. Hey, it works. It works. It works. Okay, so yeah, the reason is the source. So what we need to do is we don't actually care about whether the sources match. We just care about whether the pages match. So where were we? Page link dot destination is equal to link dot destination, because we don't care about the source, because the source will not be set on the actual page. We just care, is it linking? So if I now hover over that, that is now highlighting the link. And it's doing it in the accent color. So if I was to change the accent color to let's do, no, we want developer, system blue color. I guess that doesn't work. Well, that's Apple's own thing that... can I... No, I would have to do it on the system level, and I don't want to risk that because I've never done that while streaming before. But it should use whatever your accent color is. So, all we need to do now is get it highlighting those there. So the way that we can do that is if I was to search for another page, you see how that flashed up? We could have it not just flash up like that, but have it stay like that. So what I need to do is page editor view controller, I believe. Not page editor view controller, it is text editor view controller. So the view model self.highlighted range. Go find indicator. Yeah, Unity can take a while to install, so... Does not scroll the specified range to be visible, and it scrolling should be done that. Yeah, that is a slight problem. How am I going to get it to highlight? That is going to probably require a lot of messing around. Okay, what I'm going to do, because getting these to highlight, because I can get them to flash up easily, but I want them to stay highlighted, which means we have to do some custom stuff. And the custom stuff is going to require, I mean, I don't believe there is a, no. So the custom stuff is probably going to take a while. So I'm probably going to have to look that up a bit off stream for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break, and when we get back, we'll do some more work on the overlay. So Bread Monster, I can show you in Unity how various things work. So I will see you all in a few minutes, and I'll run an ad during the break just so that pre-rolls go away for anyone else who's coming in. So see you in a bit. Okay, I am back. So, we're going to be doing some overlay work. And I've been thinking about how exactly I have how to do the face. So if I just bring up right. So I'm trying to work out what information I need, because at the moment the face is very simple. If I bring up Photoshop again, we have a left eye, we have a right eye, we have a mouth, we have a background, and then we have accessories here. And it works very well, but the mouth is not a smooth transitioning because there are only 3 states. And ideally I want to have more states between open and closed, so it's a bit smoother and it will actually transition more frequently. The eyes blinking isn't that works okay, but I want to be able to move the eyes about, which I can't do at the moment. And I also want to do some more expressions where the mouth and eyes are maybe closer together or further apart. So what I have come up with, and we will see whether this is going to work first time. It is. So the basic layout, you're going to have a screen and there are going to be 3 components. There's going to be 2 eyes and the mouth, and then you're going to be able to add an accessory, and the main accessory that's going to be added is the sweat bead on the worried face. So what I can do is change these up somewhat, because for example for most of the glasses there isn't too much difference between them. They're all pretty much the same size and everything, but we can reuse stuff there. I also believe with shaders I should be able to make them all one color when I create the textures, and then I just tweak the color, which further reduces how many variations I need. I may even be able to add a glow to them, which even further reduces the variations I need. So I may be able to use shaders to do quite a lot of work. And what this stuff is doing is I need to do that. Is effectively defining what do we need. So we need for the actual glasses, what image do we have for the left? What image do we have for the right? Then we want a Y offset for the glasses, and this will apply to both glasses, because if you notice this arrow on the right is pointing inside, that's going to reference the eye. So we want the Y offset, which is how far up and down it is. We want an X offset, which is how far from the center line are the glasses. So if it is, for example, 50, well then it should be 50. Like the left should be -50 and the right lens should be +50. And then we want the size. The line going across is going to be the actual bridge and sort of the arms of the glasses, because what I want to have happen is they're just going to be dynamically done. If I do them as straight lines, that's much easier to do in Unity, because I just create a bunch of planes. What that will allow me to do is move the lenses about, which we'll get to in a second. So for the mouth, we have the Y offset, we have the size, and then we have frames 1 through 6. At the moment, we have 3 frames for the mouth, 3 states. I'm going to double that to 6. The reason for 6 is that it should make it much smoother, but also allow me to keep the 3 frames for the pixel theme where the 3 frames actually works incredibly well and looks really good. So it allows me that flexibility to tweak the actual animation style, like how smooth I want it. Up here we have the actual eye. We're going to have left image, right image. They are going to have blinking variations, but in terms of the image, it is going to be basically like we have for the face map. So if I show you here, the left image is going to be this sequence of 3 items. For the actual mouth, it's going to be like a sequence of 6 items, and we're going to be able to just swap through them. So this is just shifting what part of this we're using. Now, and then for the accessory, it's just like, what is the image, what is the size, what is the offset? That's easy enough. Now the key thing are the X, Y offsets and the size here, because of how I want this to work. So I want it so that you will be moving the pupil, or I will be moving the pupil around. But the thing is, the pupils will not be centered. If I come up to the camera, you can see my pupils are not centered inside the glasses. They're more towards the center. So if I was to move the pupils to the left, well, the right pupil will hit the edge of the glasses before the left one. And similarly on the right hand side. So what I want to have happen at that point is for the lenses to shift a bit. So what I have here is a demonstration. If it is in the middle, this outer thin line is sort of the range of motion the pupil has. And if it is centered inside of the lens, then the lens will not move. Basically, the size of this box is the same as the size of the lens. Okay. However, the lens may be offset inside that box. So that what we have here is another view of what we're saying. We have our pupil that is sort of centered in this view that we are looking at down here, even though it's sort of offset in the lens. And what that means is that if that moves along to the left and then starts touching the pupil, touching the lens, then we're going to shift the lens along until the whole thing moves. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense, but that is how I'm imagining it happening. Up and down may be a bit different because there'll be different dimensions there, but left and right will at least do the shifting that way. Let's see, it says install complete. What do you do now? So what you probably want to do is just open up Unity, and like I said, the best thing to do is possibly just find a tutorial on bringing a character from Blend. Like, you really want something that's just like building the basics of a game, like learning Unity. If you can find those sorts of tutorials, there are quite a few out there on YouTube. They should teach you how to bring something into Unity and how to actually use the parts of Unity and how to actually get it working. Because I mean, it's not something that I can sort of show over stream because that would take a long time. Because for example, if you look at all this, I've got all these things here that I have. Some of them are materials, some of them are models, some of them are code. I've got all the stuff in the hierarchy here. You've got to learn how to navigate around, how to put things in. I've got sound in, I've got lights in, I've got cameras in. And that's before I do this. And open up all my code. And this here is the code just for controlling my mouth. And I've got all this other code here for doing various other bits and pieces. So it's not something that is going to be a... oh, you've just got to do A, B, and C. It's something that A, B, and C in this case is A, you need to do a tutorial that is going to teach you Unity. And B is you then need to work out what you want to do. And then C is applying the knowledge that you did to learn Unity and learn other stuff to actually build what you need. You don't need to learn everything about Unity, but there are some things that you need to do. And there are people out there who who do this for a living, and have created tutorials that are far better than what I could teach, because I'm still learning this stuff myself. So yeah, I think the next thing is just find a tutorial and play around in Unity and see what you can come up with. This isn't a simple thing to build, but it is a collection of simpler things, and it's just being able to break it down into those simple things, and then finding the tutorials for each of them. So, what we want to do with all this knowledge is we're actually going to spend our time in Photoshop, and we're going to bring stuff over, because I want to do stuff like ensure the glasses are thick enough, because how big are they going to be? So 12.5, let's say. That looks roughly the size. I think they look okay there. But yeah, I was showing earlier the difference between the current face and the new one, and you can see if I scale this up a bit, so it is about, in fact, let's copy this in, paste it into here. Right, so if I decrease that, you can see what I have done is I've made the mouth bigger, moved the eyes in and made the pupils bigger and squared things off a bit. So I'm going for something that is a bit smaller eyes compared to the lenses, so that I've got more movement. Moving stuff in a bit because it makes the mouth, the face just a bit smaller. And yeah, making the mouth bigger. You need 1.24 data, we've got 1.1 left, sadly. Yeah, it takes a lot of disk space up. I'm not sure how much it takes in total, but yeah, you're talking quite a few gigabytes of space to do Unity and Blender and all stuff like that. So yeah, I've got the plain face. What I want to do is actually create a copy. And what I want to do is transfer everything from here into here and use this as my base design for all the expressions. Then I want to convert them, because if we look here, terminal is the same, it's just different colors and a glow. Blue screen is the same, it's just different colors and a glow. Pixels are the only ones where it completely changes. So if I can do it where all of these blue screen, terminal, default are all the same, I just tweak the colors and I can add a glow, then that saves me a lot of time. Now I've just got to do pixels, and then if I need to do completely other ones for different themes, which I probably will for some of them that I have ideas of, then it's still reducing things. So what I want is I want my current expression. So we've got playing, we want happy, worried, confused and angry. So happy, oh, we've already got no, we'll do it this way still. Confused, angry, because I have changed it since I did this version of worried. Okay, so we've got playing. We want happy. So for happy, I want to copy those. We have face, left eye. We have open, mid, close. No, buffering hell. The worst kind of hell. So I've got a hard disk enclosure, but I haven't got hard disks in it, I've got SSDs in it. And the thing is, the fan keeps spinning up and spinning down in it, and part of me is wondering whether I should get myself a better quality of fan to stick inside of it, because it's just a standard fan that plugs in, and I've opened it up to check, so it's, but I keep pondering whether I should get a fan or just get in contact with the support about whether it's should be constantly ramping up and ramping down. I may do that first to see if I can get avoid having to pay for a fan. Select ours and increase the size. So what are you meaning by what have you got to do now, Bread Monsters? Yeah, if you've got 2.6 gigs of data, that I think that might be enough to install the base parts of it. actually want the happy eyes to be centered. I do think they look a bit better centered, and it would make looking around a bit easier with them. Right, let's get the mouths of the robot. You got the model, but you don't have the fingers, the pupils, mouth, and color. It all depends on your model. Like I said, it could be a case of texturing for some of that. If you're wanting stuff like fingers and stuff like that and doing it 3D, then you're going to need to learn rigging, which unfortunately I don't know how to do beyond the absolute basics. You're probably best, as I say, looking for a YouTube tutorial, because they are generally done by people that know this far better than I do. My Blender knowledge is very basic, so other people are probably going to know better because, as I say, they do it for a living. So I don't know what the tutorial will be called, because it depends on what you want. The best thing to do is to just search for tutorials on YouTube on either like making a character in Blender or making a character in Unity. That's basically what you're probably wanting. Yeah, there are plenty of very good tutorials on YouTube. I mean, I haven't viewed them all, but the tutorials, all sorts of stuff on YouTube. It's just like I say, you're better finding it from someone who really knows what they're talking about, because they will be able to teach you far better than I can, and you'll be able to like keep going back and double checking and so on. Okay, so I can delete these. We have happy in. What I want to do is, this is mouth 1. Let's make this mouth. What is the difference between them? Yeah, mouth open is going to be mouth 6. And this is going to be mouth 4. So what I want to do is drag one there. And then drag there. I'm going to hide those. And this is just going to go midway between, because we don't need to do too much in terms of ensuring that this is doing like proper animation stuff, because I am not a proper what we need to do is just make sure there are enough states to get semi-smooth, because it's just going to go between these depending on the code. The blinking is a bit more, but the blinking is just a 3-step thing, which is fairly simple, where it goes basically fully open to something that is almost like most of the way to closed to just straight closed. But what we want to do here is this is mouth 5. And this is going to be mouth 2. And this is a much bigger gap here. So what I'm going to do is bring this up about there. And then we want mouth 3 to move down a bit. So if we bring them all in, you can see how they transition up to the open mouth. So hopefully, because I mean, if we switch over here, you can see as it closes, it is a bit jumpy. But the actual difference between the open and the closed is good. So if you imagine twice as many states between, it should be a lot smoother. So we go here, got plain, we got happy. I think those pupils need to be moved out just a bit. That looks alright. You just need that little tweak. So I think we're good there. Let's do worried. So for worried, let's see what worried looks like with the glasses. Okay, first thing we need to do is on the stroke, we need to up that to let's up it to 18. Let's up this stroke to 18. I had to put it to audio only mode. Yeah, I've had that very occasionally with some streams where it keeps skipping the audio, like it doesn't just completely stop and need to buffer, it just, the audio comes and goes. I don't know why it does that. I mean, what am I looking at on my end? Yeah, it's saying I have 0 dropped frames for the entire thing, which is actually pretty good because usually I have at least some dropped frames. So going for 2.5 hours and no drop frames. So Right. That's what I'm wanting. And the mouth. Nope, I want that. Welcome back, Sinister. Right. So I paste those in. I want to center them all. I want to scale them up. Yes, face design. That. I'm going to delete all of those. And I need worried. I want to copy that. Paste that in. Right, so I'm not sure about the whether I want the glasses or not. Like that. I want open. It goes. Let's just turn the lenses off. Yeah, I think the worried looks better. Yeah, I think worried looks better like this, and it. I mean. Yeah. I think without the lenses, it looks, it's like I'm worried and I've moved the glasses up. So, one thing I do want to do is yeah, I think the eyes being further apart definitely helps. So that may be a bit too far apart. In fact, where is... the centre mark. What I probably want to do is do that, and then we're going to shift it along, let's say 350. And then we're going to take these and shift them to there and move them along 350. Yeah, that's too far. Let's go back by 50. Yeah, I mean, if you want to try a prediction, feel free. I haven't done anything that would actually work with them, so... where are we? Here we are. In fact, no. While I'm working on the thing, let's leave the current version up down here. Right, so we want to move the mouth here. Right, so if I bring these up, I think 6. Actually tempted to make this 2, and this will be 4, and then we can add an in between for each one. And that'll be there, and then we will have a smaller. So this one's going to be the easiest, mouth 1, because what I'm going to do is if I go like this, we're just going to shrink that down a bit more. Here, we're going to shrink it at halfway. Mouth 3. Okay, so I think that, to that, so from that to that to that to that to that to that. Okay. Oh, I am muted. I don't know how. I must have just brushed the top of the microphone. How are you doing, Snowtwig? If you didn't catch me last time I asked. It's going well. We are playing around with improving the faces. Now, I'm not saying that smiling with these eyes is evil Pilkybot, but What I am saying is behave. Anyway, let's switch over to what angry actually looks like. So we want to bring the mouth over. So if we bring these over, we want to close there, and we can, let's scale it up to about that big. Right. Those. Let's. Right. That was the wrong button. Nice expressions, thank you. But yeah, we're just working through. Ow. Let's select that colour. Those eyes look out. Those eyes look out of place. It shouldn't be. Because they're the same eyes that I have at the moment. Why do they look like they're rotated more? Is it just because they're... Yeah. Maybe it's just... I don't know. It almost looks angrier. Maybe it's just simply because it's lower. Like if... let's just shift the mouth now. Yeah, it's because the mouth's higher. So it just looks angrier, which... I mean, if we're going for expressions, we may as well max them out. Okay, so the eyes are okay. The lenses are okay. Okay, see you later, Kieran. Thanks for coming and thanks for raiding. Hopefully you have a good time. Okay, so this definitely needs some work. So we're gonna keep this as mouth 1. No, that's mouth 6 actually. That is up there. And closed is mouth 1. So I think mouth mid is probably going to be mouth 4. It feels like we need one more between mid and open and 2 more to get to what was mid. So we'll do that, that, and that. So what we're going to do is we're going to scale it up. Just a tad. And going to take this and move up and down. So we're about midway between at that point. Okay, so we've mouth 5. And then we have mouth 3, mouth 2. So mouth 3, we want to scale down. And then we want to scale up. No, I think we want to scale it down a bit like that, but then we start wanting to tweak things. So this wants to come up here, that wants to move up a bit, and that wants to move probably about 1/3 of the way down. And they could probably come down a bit more and then just as we're going to tweak this one too. So that is going to go up there, that is going to go down to there. I want these to go down like that. Now we probably want to expand outwards a bit like that. And for mouth 1, what I probably want to do is put that down, bring that down. Okay. So you go from there to there to there. Actually, there to there to. Yeah, I'll probably have to see. There's probably going to be more tweaks to these because I'll see where things feel a bit off. But I think for angry, we're good. Right, so for confused, this is where things get a little different. So first of all, for confused, we want to copy this across. And we want to use it as a template because the corners are different. So we're going to be tweaking the glasses. What I want to do, so for confused, I'm going to be changing this quite a lot. So it's actually going to be based upon this. Let's bring up, because the confused I have at the moment is very angry looking and has very big pupils, and I mean the mouth's sort of okay, but the eyes are not conducive to sort of moving the eyes around or anything like that. So I'm wanting to make it look a bit more like this, where it's more of a quizzical thing. So the way I'm going to do that is the pupils are going to become more square. So if I go like this, I do want to bring the mouth across, because the mouth is going to make a difference. Okay, so I can drag that into there. Drag those into there. I've been dragging the screen in as well. The right eye, I want to and then what I want to do for the lens is I want to add a point here, add a point here. I want to select these and shift them down. And then the left lens, okay, so maybe I want the lens to be a bit taller than that. I want it to be narrower. And this lens be narrower as well. And then I want the whole right eye to shift in a bit, say by 30, and the left eye to move in by 30. And then for the glasses... And I think one thing that is going to make a difference... So that to me already looks a lot more quizzical. Now I need to do some more tweaks here. Starters, I think that needs to be toned down a bit. Yeah, that's looking better. I need also that to stretch out a bit more and that to stretch out a bit more to give it a bit more of a curve. And then the other thing that really seems to make it a bit more is the mouth. So we have the mouth closed here, but what I want to do is I want to scale this in and rotate it a bit more. No, I think I actually need to, on the lens, actually make that what it was. Right, I think the eyes I need to move in. And I think let's take this lens. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is share JPEG, copy it, can I paste? Oh, fantastic, universal control is amazing. So I want to put that out, hide. Because this, to me, if I bring it up above everything, that looks better than that. So I need to work out why. So what I need to do is I need to scale it up to the right size. Alright, so the first thing is the mouth needs to move up. Second thing is the pupils need to move down. Are these the wrong distance apart? That is 112. Yeah, so this right lens could do with moving in a bit. You've made the model of the bread and eyes. That's great. So you've got all the modeling done. Mouth, arms, legs, and sunglasses. Yeah, those are the hardest things. You may notice Pokebot has a wheel and no arms at the moment. Mostly because it saves time. I haven't had to model them. Okay, so these lenses need to tweak as well. Okay, so if I bring that lens, bring it down to there, bring it across there. Okay, and then for this lens, what do we want? We want that to shift it down to there. We want this shift across to there. Square this off. Oh. Or do I want to round that off? Maybe I want to round the lens off a bit. That could be what I am missing. So what I want to do is rotate that there and that there. I think that left eye needs increasing in size. I think it needs to be the same size. Same height at least. There's that. Aha! That is looking a lot more quizzical. But that is looking very high. So can I get away with bringing this down? What I may do, let's take the left eye lens. Let's take... What do you think? Any thoughts in chat of how that looks? It definitely looks more quizzical than the current one and less angry. What I need to do is probably make sure these are the same width. Okay, so what? Oh, I need to do -1 on this. It's gonna be 387. Oh yeah, that. I think what may help Okay, I think we're getting there. I think what I need to do is bring this down a bit, just a touch. And this is going to be a bit... It's going to require a little bit more to deal with in terms of the thing. We're going to have to basically define the bounds where it's the size of the frame can go outside the size of where the pupils can go, but I think we're good for that. Now, just to reference some of the other expressions that we have, in fact I'm going to need to copy that into there. It's got the bottom of this. And then we want... Okay. So, we still need to do the mouth, but we've got plain, happy, worried, confused, angry, surprised, which I still need to tweak somewhat, head empty, which looks a lot better now that I've reduced the size of the brains for pupils. And then finally, Rye, which is probably going to need some tweaking, but I'm already liking. It's already my favorite expression that I've done. So yeah, I think we will probably have to do all those. We'll probably do a bit tomorrow, and then the rest maybe on Wednesday, and maybe start getting some actual stuff done. So as it is 4:30 p.m. here nearly, I need to go and get ready to get some food because I've got stuff on tonight. So let's head over into the bridge. I want to thank you all for coming. We've had a very productive day. We've managed to get linking working, at least one half of the link highlighting working. We just need to work out the text side of it, which is hopefully going to be a somewhat temporary solution because I've got some more things I want to do with linking in the future, but I mean, those will be like future versions, so it needs to look good, but it doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. But yeah, so we will do some stuff there and get that finished up tomorrow, and we've done some expression stuff. So yeah, this has all been pretty good, pretty fun. So yep, I am going to head off. I hope you will all join me again, same time, same place tomorrow, here on Twitch, 1 p.m. UK time, here on the spaceship. And yes, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful rest of your weekend. And as always, happy coding.